Joining me now from Toronto, the Chief Commissioner of the Inquiry into Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls, Marion Buller. Nice to see you, Commissioner.
Nice to be able to be with you today, Rosemary. Thank you.
Let me just start with your reaction to Commissioner Poitras' resignation. What was your reaction to that?
I wish her well. I'm grateful for the wonderful contribution she made to the National Inquiry and our work during her time with us. She has worked tirelessly to help accommodate and do our work. We wish her the very best.
She said in the letter to the Prime Minister that she was unable to perform her duties with the process designed in its current structure. Did she not buy into the way you had approached this work? Was there a sort of a clash of how it needed to be done?
I think that's probably a question to ask her. I don't want to speculate, of course, but what I do want to say is that our process has been informed all along by the advice we've received from families and survivors and also from grassroots organizations. So it's been an informed process all along.
But was there a difference of opinion between Poitras and the rest of you and the other commissioners?
Again, that's something you would have to ask her. I can't speak for her.
But would you not know, Commissioner, if you had a different opinion than Ms. Poitras?
Well, I think it's fair to say that on many occasions, we all did not agree. Like any family, there's not always harmony. It's to be expected, and that's where you get innovation and growth.
Were there any personality differences? Were there personality clashes?
Well, what I can say is that all of us are deeply, deeply committed to the work that we're doing and to the families and to the survivors and making sure that this national inquiry is a success.
And I believe you, but I'm not sure you answered the question there. Was there a problem with people was this just not the right fit, I guess is the question.
I don't know if right fit is the actual word or proper description. I think it's fair to say that when you have 5 people in a room, you're going to have 5 different opinions and 5 different personalities.
So do you feel that there's a need to have a new commissioner then, or do you feel like you're sort of too far down the road to replace anybody and you should just keep going with the staff you have?
That won't be our decision exclusively.
Right.
Yesterday, we met with the minister and explained our plans for the future, and we assured her that we're able to get the work done amongst the 4 of us as planned. However, it's really up to the minister and the Prime Minister as to whether or not they replace Commissioner Poitras.
You have been talking more, certainly, since it kicked off. You've been talking more and more and sort of answering some of the questions people have. But the minister does say that there's still, communication has still been an issue. And I believe that was part of the reason she met with you yesterday, to get a better understanding of your work plan. So what do you say to Canadians who are still asking questions about the work plan, how this is unfolding, and whether they can continue to have confidence in what you're doing?
Absolutely. I want to assure all Canadians that we are prepared to move forward as we have scheduled and as we have planned to hear from families and survivors. We want to hear their stories. We want to be able to talk to them about their recommendations as well. We want to continue doing our work, and we will continue to do our work in a trauma-informed and culturally appropriate manner.
Did you think it would be this hard?
That's a hard question, Rosemary. I knew that there would be challenges. I knew that there would be sleepless nights. I knew that there would be working 24/7. I knew that coming in. But I am personally so dedicated to doing this work and hearing from families and survivors and making this national inquiry a success that it's not an issue for me. I'm happy to do it.
The interim report, which you still feel you can get done by November, what will be in there that will sort of inform Canadians about what you've done and then what has yet to be done? What should we expect from that?
You can expect information about what we have done, where we've been, who we've talked to, what our interim findings of fact and recommendations are. You'll also hear about, or be able to read about, the synthesis of existing reports that's being finished off right now, and recommendations and further actions that we can identify from those existing reports.
So you feel you can get that report done in time, but I know that you've previously wondered whether you're going to need more time and even perhaps more money overall. Do you have a better sense of that right now?
Yes, we're still doing our analysis of the time and money. And I'll tell you this, Rosemary, it's very important to us that every family member and every survivor who wants to talk about their lost loved one or their experience have the opportunity to do that in an uninterrupted way, without a clock running, without any constraints. And so we learned that in Whitehorse. People just appeared, and we were very grateful that they did, and we took the time to listen to them and to hear their stories.
So the pressure or the stress might actually be the families who need more time to talk to you rather than anything else.
Well, not just the families and survivors. We want to give an opportunity to institutions like governments, for example, to have time in front of us as well. We want to be able to hear from experts about such topics as human rights, decolonization, Indigenous laws, and a variety of other topics. We need that information to inform the work that we're doing.
A number of people have said to me since the resignation of Ms. Poitras that perhaps things will be easier going forward. And there's nothing to do necessarily with her, but they had an impression that now you guys were really on track. Do you have that impression as well?
My opinion is that we've been on track since day one. So that's my personal view. But we're headed forward, and we intend to do this work and make it a success.
But I mean, of course, you would say that you've been on track since day one, but there have been setbacks, and you've acknowledged problems with communications. So have things improved as you've gone along, and do you think that you are better equipped now to deal with the things ahead of you?
A short answer is yes, we're better equipped to move ahead. We have an exemplary director of communications now. We are pretty much fully staffed up on all our teams now. We're ready to move forward, and we're we've listened to the criticisms that we've received, and justifiably so in my view, and we're trying to remedy those problems. And what we have to always remember too is that inquiries are always a work in progress, and that change is the one constant that you have to deal with. And so we listen to the criticisms, especially the constructive criticisms, and we try to implement change as a result.
Okay, well, certainly you're communicating more by giving interviews, and I appreciate that. So good to see you, Commissioner. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.